Good day, folks. You can certainly tell that spring has sprung. I don't think it'll focus on that. And this doesn't have steady shot. There's a bird over there in that tree. Well, maybe it does, but it just can't do much with the zoom on this. But I've had this camera for a while. This is the JVC Everio GZ-MG130, which I'll show you in the video here in just a moment. Decent little camera, but doesn't do very well in low light. And the quality of video that it produces is not as good as some of the other standard definition cameras I've got. But it's certainly okay for what it is. Well, things multiply around here, and so it is that I was doing a little bit of work helping somebody pack up to move the other day. At least I think that's where this camera came from. It might not have been, but I'm pretty sure that that's where this came from. I got another one. This is slightly different. This is actually a GZ-MG135 as opposed to an MG130. Now, what the difference actually is, I'm not totally sure, because I can't really tell. It's still got 34 times optical zoom. Still has the SD card slot. There's no SD card in there. There was, actually. What I was told is that this camera was used primarily with an SD card because it was easier to transfer videos that way. Now, whether or not I believe that, I really couldn't tell you, because I was pretty certain that the SD card recorded pretty crappy quality videos compared to the hard drive on this, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, maybe I'll have to try it at some point, because I don't think I ever have. When I got it, it was certainly in SD card mode. And when I switched it over to camera mode, there was actually one video clip on here that was maybe about 5 seconds in length. Not very long, probably just a test clip. But I don't have the SD card with it now. He told me he kept the SD card because he wanted to use it with his DSLR, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Also didn't get the battery because I was told that the battery was no good. And what he told me was that if he finds the charger, he will give me the charger. I'm not keeping my hopes up, given that we packed the place up, and I didn't see it. So, it doesn't really matter. It's the same, like I said, it's the same as this camera, including the battery. But, I can't figure out the difference. I have no idea. There's the lens cap. There's that. 16:9 widescreen. It's exactly the same. So, I don't know if maybe this was an attempt by JVC to bleed off old stock, or maybe it's got a larger hard drive in it, a slightly larger hard drive. I'm not sure. But what I am sure of is the camera does seem to work, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and switch the batteries between these two, and we'll change cameras and just see what it happens to look like. So I will be right back, thanks to the magic of video editing. Okay, I think we're recording now with this, the Everio GZ-MG135. Wow, that sun's bright. Of course, pointing at it's probably not the best idea. This is a free camera, so, you know, not going to say no to that, even though I already have one. Camera that you saw in the first part of the video. Right here. This is a GZ-MG130. Didn't come with a battery. If I remember what I was told right, the battery was no good. So, that's why I've I'm using the same battery that I did with the other camera, because I only have the one battery to use across these two cameras. I might buy one, or I might not. They're just standard definition cameras. They're not that interesting. So, it's got a video light on it. I don't know if I can really demonstrate it because it's kind of too light outside for this, but just turn it on there. It's also got an auto mode for the light. Seems to work pretty well. There was exactly one video clip on this, which you've already seen. Or if you have not already seen it, you'll see it in a moment. You can see things are melting pretty nicely. There's a spot on the camera. That's kind of annoying. It's also kind of amazing how much faster this side is melted compared to that one. But I guess it's because the sun, for most of the day, faces there. Now, I'm kind of parked a little bit too far over here, but anyway. Let's take a look at some stuff. It's almost clean in here. Almost. But not quite. So we'll just test out this little camera. See what it can do. I guess while I'm at it, talk about some projects, of which there are certainly plenty. Give you some teasers for some videos, depending upon what order I decide to upload them in. I picked this up from work, and then, like 2 weeks later, I was given one for free, so I have one in my trunk right now. It's been riding around in there for probably about 2 months now. Should probably get it out. I'm sure that's going to get me a whole lot of comments right there. Probably just the same number of comments as I get about the Macintoshes, which, yes, are still sitting there. They will come eventually, folks. They will come eventually. But for right now, I've got so many other things I need to deal with. Not the least of which is trying to get some of this impressive dump party cleared up. You know. And you think those have been sitting around for a while. These down here have been sitting around for even longer. There's 4 laptops there. Excuse me. I need to work on them. But yeah, moreover than not, I really just need to go through this and clean it up. Organize it, put it into boxes. And yes, make videos of some of it, but, you know. People like seeing videos of old junk computers. So this will certainly be up there. Put this together. Here's a sneak peek of a piece of hardware. Put a tape in it. Worked just fine, but now it won't eject. It's stuck. So I'm going to have to figure that out. That down there, I'm going to have to figure something out. I'll probably put some more optical drives in that. It does have serial ATA, which kind of amazed me. So, if I was thinking, I would have, when I was out in storage, I would have grabbed a 40 gigabyte serial ATA hard drive, but maybe I have one sitting around somewhere. Or a small one. I don't need a large drive for that. Probably use one that's even smaller. We'll see what I've got sitting around. I think I got some 250s and other things, but anyway, yeah, that other junk computer that you will have already seen a video of by the time this gets uploaded, but I will have to finish that up and deal with that. You know, I bought all those bankers boxes and I've used basically none of them. Thinking I'd be able to clear stuff up, but I just instead of clearing stuff up, I've just amassed more crap, and it's just kind of piled up all over the place. So, hoping to get some computer builds done and some other things. You'll have these to look forward to in the future, but for now, I'm just testing this camera and seeing what it can do. It's probably basically exactly the same as the MG130. I can't imagine it's any different. Now here we are with some indoor test video with what I would consider to be average lighting. Looks like this camera is just like the other one in that it is really kind of blind. Unless you've got a football stadium equivalent light source to give this thing. See if the video light does anything. Yeah, it's more like a fart in a whirlwind. So, either way, more projects sitting around. Far too many of them sitting around, in fact. I'm gonna probably have to start dealing with them. Things that you haven't seen in video yet. But that are coming eventually. There's not very much in there. Wonder if it'll do something here. Still says there's 30 minutes left. Wonder if it'll focus on that. That's all on the inside. Kind of interesting that you can't actually see the water in there. It kind of tells you a lot of things. I think on that note, we're pretty much done here with this. It's a pretty good test. So, I would like to thank you for watching, and if you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down below.